Hello there.
All right, babe, I'm starting.
What's up? What's up? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start here pretty soon. I'm not really gonna wait on nobody because we're on a time restriction. So I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes and then we are good to go. All right. Where is it? All right, hello everyone. All right, I'm about to go ahead and get started, guys. And if you miss any part of this video, no worries because it will be recorded and I'll post it inside of the group. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link inside of the group of an estimate tutorial that I did last night. You guys will be able to view it anytime that you need to. If you still have questions on how to do estimates or whatnot, this video will pretty much walk you through uh, how to actually file the estimate. So I'm gonna mute everybody. That way we won't have any feedback that will, ring your ears or whatnot. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, I'm also going to post this slideshow that I'm going to show you inside of the group. That way you guys will be able to view that. There we go. Okay. Okay, guys. So I hope everybody had a fantastic day. I've had a very, very busy and annoying day, but we got a lot done. You know me, I got to start out with a story first. So I kind of read something that was pretty interesting, something that kind of caught my attention, kind of motivated me a little bit as well. So pretty much, I read a story. It was a quick story. And the story was pretty much, it goes like this. So a gentleman was walking through an elephant camp, and he spotted that the elephants were not being kept in cages or held by the use of chains. All that was holding them back from escaping the camp was a small piece of rope tied to one of their legs. Now, as the man gazed upon the elephants, he was completely confused as to why the elephants did not just use their strength to break the rope and escape the camp. They could easily have done so, but instead they didn't try at all. Curious and wanting to know the answer, he asked a trainer nearby why the elephants were just standing there and never tried to escape. So the trainer replied, when they're very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they're conditioned to believe that they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The only reason that the elephants were not breaking free and escaping from the camp was that over time they adopted the belief that it just was not possible. So the moral to that story is pretty much no matter how much the world tries to hold you back, always continue with the belief that you want to achieve, that what you want to achieve is possible, and believing you can become successful is the most important step in actually achieving it. So you guys will always hear me preach these stories over and over and over to kind of express how important it is to embrace the tension and the things that are hard to do to become better and release yourself so you can get great rewards. All right. So what I want you guys to do right quick, just so I won't feel like I'm speaking to myself, give me some thumbs up in the chat room. That way I can verify that we are definitely live and I'm being heard. Fantastic. Steven, I don't think the Wi-Fi is slow, brother. I think you're slow, man. All right, so now let's go ahead and get started. So I posted this link right here. This link is just going to be the presentation. So this presentation that you see pretty much is what I'm about to go over. So if you can't see it on my screen for some reason, you can go ahead and view it. Mute everybody. Okay, so go ahead and mute that so you guys won't get annoyed by that. All right, cool. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just present this to you guys. All right, so this is pretty much the vision. I know some of you guys, you kind of started late with us. You didn't really understand what you were getting into. Maybe I didn't explain it as best as I could. Whatever the case may be, I want you guys to be all up to date on what's to come here within the next, let's say, 3 years working with us, the vision that we have, what we're trying to instill in the culture that we're trying to, cultivate. and what you can expect and whatnot. So pretty much this is our vision. And the vision is real estate. Why real estate? So pretty much real estate is the best investment that you can make. Okay. And if you can compare real estate to stocks, to bonds, cash savings, and whatnot, you'll be able to clearly see that it has more pros than the other investments. You get a high cash return. Okay. You get equity build up, being able to produce cash flow into your, your real estate assets. You'll be able to leverage. So you'll be able to purchase real estate even though you cannot afford it. You can use credit, you could use syndicates, you could use, other investors. But we'll talk about down the road. It's a hard asset, which means that it's not something that can just go away. It's insured, so it'll always be something that'll stay there, something you can touch, something that you can feel, something that's real. Not like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency where one day it's valued at this much and the next day it's valued at nothing. You got tax benefits, plenty and plenty tax benefits for real estate. Very, very little to no benefits in any other type of investment opportunity. Okay. And the last thing is inflation hedge, which is humongous. So an inflation hedge, you're able to not get so impacted by the economy and the denigration of the amount of the value of the dollar. Okay. So that's very huge because in real estate, you know, properties depreciate all the time, but it's only based off the market and it's not solely based off the value of the dollar. Okay. So with that being said, what's coming up next? So of course we're in tax season right now, guys, and almost everybody's gonna be able to file their taxes here within the next 2 weeks because they'll have their W-2s and their 1099s. So that's probably about 80% of the people are gonna have their 1099s and W-2s. All right, your job is to go out there, find clients, build your clientele, bring value to individuals by helping them file their tax returns. All right. So once you do that, once tax season's over, or probably mid-tax season, we're going to go into the Airbnb rental, and I'm going to break all these down. So if you're wondering what all this means and whatnot, don't worry. I'm going to break all this down for you. We're going to go into wholesale syndicate real estate, and that's going to allow us these two things, or these three things: tax preparation, Airbnb rental, and wholesale syndicate real estate is going to allow us to purchase multifamily real estate in bulk or in a whole, because we're a group, so we can put our money together under an LLC and purchase multifamily real estate. All right, so tax preparation capital. This is pretty simple. In the next, few months, you'll be raising at least $5,000 minimal capital for Airbnb investment. Now, I know some of you guys may freak out a little bit. Maybe some of you guys have never seen $5,000, in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, or maybe that's just not possible for you with the current income that you have, which is why tax season is so beautiful, because you'll be able to create this type of capital and invest it into real estate. Give me 1 second, close my washer doors. Okay, where was I? All right, so and if you have any questions, feel free to type your questions into our chat room, either if it's on this chat, or if it's Facebook chat, or if you want to hold your questions to the end, that'd be great as well. So to get to 5K, realistically, you're going to have between 20 and 30 clients, which is really attainable within the month of just January or February. Okay. And then the next thing you want to focus on is growing your clientele for the next year. And I always preach this over and over. Don't try to bank on making $1 million in one tax season. It's extremely tough to do to make just a sum of money in one tax season. What you want to do is strategically be, not needy and greedy, and build your clientele that takes off into the next year. So next year you start taxes. You're not starting at zero. You're going to be starting at 20, 30, or 40 clients, however many you've accumulated throughout the tax year. And again, the most important thing when you're working taxes, it's a tax write-off. So if you make 60 to 70,000 or even 40 or $50,000 and you're not getting that earned income credit and you got dependents, or maybe you just pay too much in taxes, well, worries are off the table because now you get to have tax write-offs and you can write off your mileage, you can write off your gas, you can write off your cell phone bill. These type of things will help you pay less in taxes. So even if you don't make any money whatsoever with us this tax season, guess what? You get to get tax benefits, which is fantastic. So Airbnb rental, just to give you an idea of what we're leading towards with the Airbnb rental, we're gonna rent out our goal is to rent out between 12 and 15 units, before the summer is over. And if you do the math on that, if we charge $100 per day in those units, and we do that 30 days throughout the month, that's $3,000 per month. In 15 units, that's $45,000 a month. This is the beauty of real estate because it's not just one thing. There's different avenues of real estate, which you're gonna learn here pretty soon. So with getting $45,000 a month in 6 months, that's gonna be $270,000. Now I know you're thinking like, I can't afford 12 to 15 units. Like, dude, this is why we're all together. So we're all going to put our money together to be able to invest in real estate. And we're not going to be doing this blindly. We're going to have people who are already doing this, successful millionaires who are going to be showing us the way. And you'll be able to just, stand by on the side and learn along the way. And essentially you'll be able to start being able to help us find properties to rent out. And that'll be something that you'll be able, that'll be your job opportunity here with the Airbnb rental part. And again, it's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. So you're probably thinking like, dude, what if I make 100K with it? I don't want to pay $40,000, $50,000 in taxes. No worries. It is again a tax write-off. And tax write-offs are very powerful because you want to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. And now that you know how to do taxes, guess what? You now can actually control the type of money or flow of money that you're giving Uncle Sam. Next is wholesale real estate. Now, this is going to be a little bit more complex than what you're used to seeing. So wholesale real estate essentially is when you find properties, okay, that are inexpensive or that you find them wholesale price, and you market it to a buyer to purchase, okay? Now you're thinking like, why in the hell would I do something like that? Well, it works like this. So let's see over here, you have the seller, right? And he's a note holder, which means he owns the home. He has the deed to the home or the apartment or the asset, okay? And there's you, but we're gonna skip to the buyer. So there's the buyer and the buyer has money and the seller is asking for $130,000 for the property. So what you do is you go to the seller with your contract, okay? And you tell him, I'm gonna purchase this property for $130,000 with the right to assign to another party. Now, when you do something like that, what legally what happens is temporarily you hold like a sub deed to the property. So that means that you kind of own this property once this deal goes through with the title company. So what you do is you take this deed, this paper, it is the most important thing in the deal, and you go to the buyer and you have him sign another paper because he's gonna wanna agree to buy this deal. So he's buying it for 150 and the seller is selling it for 130. You get the difference between both of those parties, which is $20,000, all right? So with that being said, you're just making the difference you're the middleman making the difference between the seller and the buyer, all right? Simple as that. That is how wholesale real estate works. Now, syndicate real estate is different and could probably be a little bit more complicated to understand. I don't think so, but it's literally what you're doing is you're finding investors to provide funds to purchase deals that you found, okay? In return, you'll manage them, construct them, protect the cash flow with the possibility to be the owner of the investment. So how this works is, now, mind you, we just went through the Airbnb thing, and then we went through the wholesale thing. And let's say you have a good, reputation, and you have credibility, and you have proof that, what you do works. And there's doctors and dentists that work all day. They don't have time to find assets, but they really, really want to invest somewhere, right? But they just don't have the time. But that's all that you do. So you say, hey, these are the past projects or deals that I've done. If you want to truly invest with us, put 50K to the side and you'll be able to pretty much own part of the asset, or you'll be able to get this and much back as an investor. And then in that case, you'll be able to own the property because they don't want any parts of owning the property. They just want to invest their money and get some money back. So what you do essentially is you take their money, all right, you take the down payment, you put this money towards the down payment. The seller gives you the contract. You go in, you do what you do, you rehab it, and you refinance it. Now you own the property outright, or you have a large amount of equity in the property, and you give the investors their money back, and now you have a whole property for yourself to cash flow on. Okay, so hopefully that's not too complicated to understand. But essentially, all you're doing is using other people's money to get something that you want, and it's all legal. People do this every single day. All right. So our goal is to generate over $1 million in revenue doing this type of technique. And again, it's a tax write-off because we want to keep as much money as we can, no matter how many opportunities we take a part of. We always want to be able to write off on our taxes. Now, last thing is commercial multifamily real estate. This is why we are in the game. The last 3 opportunities that we're doing is just building capital. Literally, all we're doing is building capital so we can do this one big thing, which is investing in commercial multifamily real estate. So what we want to do is we want to purchase the property, create value, and we want to protect the cash flow. All right. With that being said, we want to find targeted property deals. So this is pretty simple, guys. We want to build a lucrative and a viable multifamily portfolio. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So if you guys are not seeing this image over here on the right, it was just a Monopoly logo. So I'm pretty sure everybody's played the Monopoly game when they were younger. If not, maybe you're very, very, very young. But the Monopoly game, the whole goal of the Monopoly game is to get the biggest house, right? Which is the hotel. And most of the time you get the hotel, of course, you win. So that's pretty much the same thing with what we're doing, is we're just trying to get the biggest asset, okay? So breaking it down, let's just say here within the next 8 months, everything goes well with taxes, it goes well with the Airbnb, and we go ahead and we purchase our first property. Let's say this property is 4.9 million, and you're like, wow, dude, there's no way in hell that we're gonna freaking purchase a property for $4.9 million. And you're absolutely right, because we're not. What we'll do is we'll be able to invest $1.2 million in there. And then once we do that, we'll be able to assess the debt. So we'll owe 3.6 million and we'll rehab 245K. We'll do our job to improve the well-being of this property, increase the rents. And once we do that, we'll cash flow, and we could either fix it and flip it, or we can buy it and we can hold it until it appreciates, okay? But let's just say we keep this property, right? And we go to the next property in the next 16 months, okay? And this one is, of course, much more expensive than our last because we only want to improve, right? So this property is $24 million and it's going to be $6.2 million down. The debt is going to be 18 million. So that means after the down payment, that's what we have left, without the interest, of course, and then we have to do rehab. So with that being said, understanding these numbers puts you in the ballpark of, okay, this is what we have to do, and this is what we need to actually get this, get this property. And let's just say we were short of $6.2 million. All of us put our money together and we were short, and let's say we only had 3 million. What we would do is we'd find another trusted investor, and we have a couple of those already. And, these guys are very much eligible to put in the rest of the amount of money, and we would split the profits. And once we do that, we rehab the property, and of course, we either buy it, fix it and flip it, or buy and hold. But let's say we keep this property as well, right? But 32 months later, let's say the first 2 properties that we have, we go ahead and we sell those properties. But now that the bank knows that we're really about business and that we've been cash flowing on our last 2 properties, the bank now says, you know what, you can have this property with no money down. All right. Now, essentially, a lot of people would freak out and say scam to that, but that's literally how it works, because your credibility is so high. The bank will say, you know what, this is 11.4 million. You're going to be able to get this asset we'll go ahead and fund you for this asset, or private lenders will fund you for this asset, and you'll pay the total debt on the asset, okay? Because essentially the banks want to become the investors in the deal with you because they see that you're doing good business, all right? So let's just say this property is 45 million and 9, okay? Obviously, this is definitely not in Texas, but this is just kind of like an idea of what we could attain within, 3 years of just working together. And this is just simple. The simple vision that we have working is pretty much producing capital and cash flow, put it into real estate. And once we get to this point, guys, if we have an asset where it's 45 million, you are now considered extremely wealthy, okay? I'm assuming that, there's going to be 20 people in this deal. It's probably going to be less than, it's probably going to be like 1 or 2 other investors. So with that being said, this deal is probably going to be the pinnacle of where we could reach in the next 3 years. And this is what I'm hoping for us to reach. So this is just the vision. And I don't want to go any further than this because we have a lot to go over. But I just want you to understand where we are heading, okay? Where we're heading right now is somewhere that we are not right now. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to kind of see how all of this is possible, and it may be unbelievable. But trust me, I know, I've met, and I've spoken to individuals who've done this in a much shorter time, all right? Everything that I'm teaching you is what I spent tens of thousands of dollars on, and what I went to seminars for or network with millionaires for, and I'm giving you free content. All I'm asking for you to do is just to apply yourself so that we can all utilize this and grow together. So that being said, the next thing I want to talk about is tax-wise. So if I go to tax-wise, I know some of you guys do not have your P10 yet. That's okay. We'll get it tonight. I'll go ahead and get on a webinar with you if that's possible. And we'll pretty much go over all the information that you need to get your P10, because you really, really, really need to get it this week so you can start doing estimates. All right. So I want you guys to get familiar with the platform. Some of the stuff you will not see on yours. You will not see e-filing, reports, text element, all this stuff you won't see. But on yours, I want you to go into new return. You can put in a fake social, whatnot. All right, and all I want you to do is I just want you to go here, and even if you're not doing an estimate, just look around, get familiar with the platform. The last thing you want to do is you want to be in front of a client trying to understand the platform, because you've been spending the last couple of weeks not utilizing the platform, not going in and training yourself, and not doing estimates, okay? So what I want you to do is, while you're free, find 10, 15 minutes out of the day and do a fake estimate. Go through, put in information, put in all the estimate information that you need to do a quick estimate so you can get familiar with the software. So also, if you see in the group, I posted a video, and the video was pretty much a 30-minute long video showing you guys exactly how to do an estimate, okay? And if you go and you look at the video, you'll be able to see that it really didn't take me long at all to actually do a quick estimate. All right, and estimates are extremely important, because what you're doing, and I've seen some of you, you're essentially trying to sell people on doing their taxes. I can promise you that 70% of the time, people are going to say no if you say, hey, let me do your taxes, or hey, can I do your taxes? The way that you go about getting clients is estimates. Let them know, I have about 20 minutes of my time left, let's say 5 o'clock. I can do a quick estimate for you to let you know what you're getting back for the year. And all I need is this. And then you send them the copy and paste message that I posted in the group, which I'm going to repost because I had to edit it. And once you do that, you have your client, you give them an estimate. Like literally 85% of the time, they're going to tell you to go ahead and complete it and send it through, and boom, you have your client. All right. So that's where I really want to be big on, is really getting familiar with the system. Okay. So what papers to print out? I gave everyone a cheat sheet. If you don't have a cheat sheet, I can email it to you. and you can print one out. So the papers that you're really going to print out is you want to print out the page 1040 and page 1042. The clients are going to sign page 1042. You print out 8879. And again, this is all recorded. So if I'm going too fast, you can always go back and view this. The 8879, if you scroll down to 8879, the client's signature is going to be right here when you print it out. So they'll go ahead and they'll sign the 8879. If you go to SB App 1, this is all the bank information. You want the client to initial where the routing and the account input is, if this is going to be a direct deposit. And then you want to print out SB App 2, I believe, as well. I'm not really sure about 3 and 4. I don't know if that's new. But Stephen, if you're listening, remind me which one to print out from the SB apps because I don't remember. Then also print out page SB Tilla 1 for sure, and print out SB Tilla 2. SB Tilla 2, they'll sign, pretty much confirming that they agree with all the terms on the all the numbers on the tax return, and also the price that you actually charge them. All right. So the next thing I want to go over is groups. Okay. So the way that we're going to do tax season this year, I remember doing taxes for the first 3 to 4 years, and I was all alone. I was doing everything on my own, and I honestly didn't have. I had a ton of confidence, but I would have had more confidence with the partner next beside me. So that's why whenever I partnered up with Steven, my business escalated to another level. Because I also had someone there to help me. I had someone there to team up with and go out and do marketing with. I had someone that could help me balance time. So like if I couldn't do a return, or I couldn't do an estimate, or if he couldn't do an estimate, I would fill in for him. So what we're going to do is we're going to split up into 3 groups, not 3 groups, 3 people per group. So what you guys can do is in the chat room, you can go ahead and pick your partners. I assume that you guys want to go based off of location. So if some of you guys are in Dallas, I honestly wouldn't partner up with somebody in Fort Worth because you probably would never see each other or even talk to each other. So everybody in the Fort Worth region, you guys can all partner up and be teammates or buddies or in groups. And once you guys get to getting your P10 and you start doing estimates, you can go ahead and start ordering your bandit signs. And if you go to this website is called dirtcheapsigns.com. If you go to this website, guys, you can go ahead and create your bandit sign, and it'll tell you the price right away. So for the type of signs that I'm getting 50 of them, it's $227. Now, I know some of you have never invested in yourself or in your business. This is just something that regularly has to happen when you have your own business, okay? So with that being said, $227 is a drop in a bucket if you're going to get 100, 200 leads, okay? So one client essentially will make up for the fee that's being charged here, all right? This is just one thing you can do. And of course, I'm going to have general signs, okay? And we're going to go over that in the next training. I'm going to have general signs that everybody can use. And the only thing you have to do is change the number on it, okay? And when you change the number on it, all those leads will go to your phone, all right? Yeah, you're right, Stephen. So the verification form is extremely important as well. That's probably, if not the most, I don't think I have it right now. I'll have to look for it. But we'll be able to show you guys a verification form. Everybody will get a copy of it, and you send it to your employees. All right, cool. So with that being said, that's probably the most important part of this training is just understand where we're heading. Estimates is the number one, like literally, estimates is your gold card. That's how you get clients. If you're trying to convince people to do taxes with you and they don't know you, and especially if they don't trust you, or maybe if they know you too well, if maybe you stole their bike when they were younger, or whatever type of vendetta they'll have against you, they just won't do taxes with you. You need to start going off of estimates because people have nothing to lose when you're preparing estimates for them. All right. So I just want to ask you guys, like, out of everything that we went over in the vision list, if you go over the whole plan, what would you say all of this is? Tax preparation, Airbnb rental, wholesale, real estate, purchasing multifamily. This is not business. I wouldn't call this business. This is sales, guys. And what is sales? Sales is the education of money or value, okay? Once you learn that, you can sell anyone on anything because you're helping them understand how to make a buying decision. And that's why us men are some of the best salesmen in the world, because we have spouses that cannot make up their mind what they want to eat. So we essentially every single day we're negotiating. And I'm just joking though. But if you have children and if you have people that you love and you're always helping people make decisions, you're very, very good at sales. All right. And reason being is because every single day, assume the food face. Exactly, Aaron. So yeah, I mean, every single day, if you're putting in the work and you're teaching people about money and the value, then this is going to be a very, very easy opportunity to you. If someone is telling you, hey, I've been filing on TurboTax for the past 5 to 10 years, and they're waiting for you to give them a response on why they shouldn't do that, then it's just a simple question. Do you feel like you're getting the best amount of value from TurboTax? What would you change if anything? And most likely they're going to say, I wish someone would be more personal with me on the phone or in person, and I wish I would get more money back. Or I wish I knew exactly what I was doing because sometimes I just put in information. That's where you feel yourself in and you say, hey, this is what I'll do for you. Okay. Don't beg people, don't seem desperate, and don't be so open with your schedule. When you devalue yourself, it means you're not worth it. You're not worth anything. And I used to do that. And I can show you tons and tons and tons of messages where I've blasted people on Facebook, and it still works. But majority of the people will not pay attention to you because you seem too free, too open, which means you're never busy, which means you're possibly a scam. Okay. With that being said, this is very simple. If you guys have any questions, shoot the questions in the chat room. I made this webinar very, very quick compared to the other ones because I want you guys to view the video that I posted so you can start doing estimates and so that you can understand it better. All right. I'll be posting a lot of videos from here on out. The software are separate software where clients will be able to log into and put their information in so that the estimate information would upload, and also where you'll be able to view training videos. That software will be completed here within the next week, and you'll be able to log on onto that software and view all the training. So if you've missed the last couple of webinars or the last couple of trainings, you'll be able to go onto that software and learn everything that you need to know to get things started. And let's just say you're in a household with family or whatnot, they're going to start paying attention to what you're doing and either become your clients or become your business partner. That's usually how it happens. So with that being said, I'm very happy and excited that you guys are a part of the team, and we're going to be having another but yeah, we're going to be having a couple of trainings. Is that a genuine question, Stephen, or is that a joke? I'm just trying to, we joke around a lot. But if that is a genuine question, why do I do this? Honestly, I do this for real estate. I don't do this because I love it. I don't do taxes because I enjoy it. I don't do taxes because I see, myself doing it for 15, 20, 30 plus years as a career. I honestly do it because it is the greatest and the quickest capital resource I have ever came across. There's no business in America that you can go into where people can make a transaction without pulling out their wallet, okay, or without pulling out some type of form of monetary transaction. So there's no business where you can just give people so much value all at once, and all of a sudden, they're going to get money back, which is tremendous value by working with you. And you'll be able to be satisfied because you have a satisfied client who didn't go through a hassle to have a service provided to them. Taxes done the correct way is the easiest, the most abundant cash flowing resource or opportunity you'll ever come across. And I can guarantee you that. And that means consecutive or reoccurring. So I'm not talking about if you win the lotto or something. That's not an opportunity. That's something that was just luck. Okay, I'm talking about a recurring opportunity that you can do every single year. You work 2 months, 3 months out of the year to make a year's worth of income. So that's why I do taxes. Who I do it for, I do it for the people that I love. I do it for the family, and I also do it for you guys. You know, now that I have you guys, I've noticed last year going through what we went through, I noticed that my employees were a responsibility of mine, and that was something that I kind of had to get over. Going through the past 5-6 years being in business by myself, it was really tough being able to put myself and see myself in a position where other individuals were depending so much on me so that they can do well. And we did well all together. So I'm very happy that everybody is trusting in me and trusting in Steven and trusting in Lauren and trusting in each other, that we're all going to, you know, of course, get to this next level and this vision that we have. And man, this vision started years and years and years ago when we were dead broke. You know, I was jumping from living with family members and jumping and living with friends. And, you know, I had no money to my name. I just had a big old head and a big old forehead that you could see through with just all kind of ideas. Okay. And, you know, I met Steven and it kind of elevated from there. And then Lauren came along and it elevated from there. And now, you know, it's you guys who's going to be the next in line to take us to the next level. And that's what a team is. That's what we're all here for. So the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to, I guess, associate with each other in the group. Who's going to be your teammate? Who's the nearest to you? Who can you team up with? Even if they're far, listen, if you like someone across the city and you know that they have the same mindset as you and you guys can work well together, that's cool too. But I really want you guys to partake in investing into one another. All right. So this week, what I have to look forward to this week is I'm actually going to do one more week of hiring. We will have some new team members, probably a lot. But at the same time, I want you guys to focus on doing estimates. Please check into the chat. I noticed that some of you will go days without checking into it, and you may miss some of these webinars because you're not paying attention. So with that being said, live well, live free, and think big. And I want you guys to totally invest in yourself and believe in yourself, believe in this opportunity. Love you guys. Stay humble. Let's work hard. Later.